met him on Desperado in 1994. I'm going through the movie list today and remembering stories I'm going to tell you from each one of the movies. I had in Desperado in '94. I had from the script. I had a character called Navajas, and which means knives. And in fact, it started a couple of trends with Danny and I. Not only did he end up starring in 10 of my movies, most of them shot here in Austin, but it started this trend of us having characters that he played that were named after cutlery. So the Navajas in Dusk Til Dawn, he was Razor Charlie. Of course, he's Machete. Next one will be Danny Trejo and Butter Knife. That'll be the next one to complete the set. Anyway, in the casting session, Desperado, I remember him coming in and I was looking for something really ferocious. And Danny walks in with that face that you could rock climb. And I thought, I didn't even ask if he could act. I just handed him the knife. I said, start practicing with this. And he got up and he walked out. I didn't need to know if he could act. It was going to be all about that amazing presence. And this is the first thing that impressed me about Danny was when we got down to Ciudad Acuña in Del Rio to shoot Desperado, is that, the star of the movie was Antonio Banderas, and the town didn't know Antonio. They all thought, everyone saw Danny, they thought he was the star. So I'd come find Danny surrounded by fans getting autographs. He didn't even have any dialogue in the movie. And I said, Danny, and I could see something happening. I said, Danny, look what's going on. They all think that you're the star of the movie. And he said, I'm not. So on that set in 1994, I told Danny, I said, someday, I've got a character called Machete. This is 1994. I said, someday we're going to make that movie because you would be, it's a really kick-ass character, you'd be the perfect person for that. So for years, we dreamt about that. And every once in a while, and then it got more often, Danny would call me all the time and say, what are we doing, Machete? Machete is ready. He would talk to himself. Machete is ready to be in this movie. Put me in, coach. The second thing that impressed me about Danny was on the set of Desperado that he asked, what's the worst high school you have here in Del Rio? I want to go visit it. I want to talk to the students. Danny was an ex-con in his youth. He dedicated his life to rehabilitating others and being a real example, one of the most impressive and just motivational speakers you'll ever hear is Danny Trejo. Because any school he goes into, they look at him and know he's the real deal and they listen to him. And it just goes to show that you don't make a mistake by falling down in life. You make a mistake by not getting back up and doing something about it, learning from the experience and teaching others. And that was Danny. That is Danny's life. And it just impressed the hell out of me. So why did I cast that guy in a Spy Kids movie? 3. When we're doing From Dusk Till Dawn, their behind-the-scenes crew was filming Danny, and I got a sense of Danny's character. In fact, that's all he would say in Desperado was, give me a line. Give me a line, coach. I said, no, because you're so sweet that if you open your mouth, you'll good. I want people to fear you. You look like that, then you open your mouth and out comes Bambi. So, no. So we did Dusk Till Dawn, and I gave him dialogue in Dusk Till Dawn. Everybody, Quentin still quotes you, "Holy dogs!" Quentin always quotes that. He loves how you made his dialogue sound. So when you finally spoke, you impressed the greatest dialogue writer of all time. Quentin Tarantino. The amazing thing, someone was shooting behind the scenes of Dusk Till Dawn, and Danny was giving an interview, and on his knee was this beautiful little 5-year-old girl, his daughter Danielle. And seeing that juxtaposition of this ugly face, in a beautiful way, with this beautiful little girl, I thought, I gotta come in a kids movie because that juxtaposition, I said, you gotta be with Antonio, you gotta be Antonio's brother, and you help the kids, and it changed his audience. He would come and tell me, you don't know how my fan base has changed. I'll be in the airport, and little kids will run at me. The parents, horrified that they've taught these kids, don't talk to strangers, and you're running up to the scariest guy in the airport. And he said the funny thing is see the parents' reaction when they come ready to retrieve their kids. And the kids explain to the parents, no, this is the Uncle Machete from the Spy Kids movie. The parents, oh, we didn't recognize you. We're about to call the cops. And he was terrific in that, and 3 movies of those that changed his audience. Danny's been in over 250 films. I don't know the exact number because we've lost count. Just to give you a sense of how Danny does it, he called me once from Dallas and he said, "Hey, I'm working on a movie here with Nicky Rourke." I said, "Oh, wow, that's great. What's it called?" "Man, I work. I just go where they point me in." People say we got a movie, he's there. People say we got a TV show, he's there. That's why you see him on the most bizarre things. And in that way, he's become probably our most fearless actor. He doesn't even ask what it is, he just does it. So he doesn't think if he's even right for the part or not. He'll do it. He's like, "Sure, I'll do that. I'll play a deer." Here are some of the things I've seen and heard of Danny over the years that are truly bizarre and I'll never see again. Once upon a time in Mexico, we're there in Guanajuato, Mexico. I come out to come film, and there's a huge crowd in the streets, and people are cheering. Okay, it must involve Danny, and he probably has his shirt off. He's got these really impressive tattoos, and Danny likes to walk around the set with his shirt off. Gets a lot of attention that way. And it turns out he did have his shirt off. Walk in the middle. This is where it gets strange. Danny's got his shirt off, and he's waving it like a flag. On the other end is Nicky Rourke with his Chihuahua. And then once upon a time in Mexico, he has a Chihuahua. In real life,